We are kicking off with WWE as WrestleMania season is well and truly underway, but not everyone can make the card, and right now all signs point to The Miz not being involved. Despite headlining WrestleMania 27 and getting a win over John Cena, The Miz is currently not expected to be on the show as he's not a part of a big enough feud to warrant a spot. Speaking to Aleister McGeorge of Metro, Miz was asked about possibly missing WrestleMania and admitted that the idea is an easy one for him to digest. He said, No, it's not easy. You're kidding me. As a WWE superstar, if your goal is not to main event WrestleMania and be the WWE or World Heavyweight Champion, then you shouldn't be here. So my goal is always to do that. If the cards don't fall where they may, you better believe I'm trying my best to get into a spot or trying to get to that level of what I feel I can produce, and I do feel I can produce at that level still to this day. It's just, sometimes the cards don't fall where they may. This year's event will be another stacked show with Cody Rhodes, John Cena, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins locked in, with more matches expected to be announced. With that in mind, The Miz knows it's going to be difficult to get on the card, especially given the wealth of talent currently competing in WWE. He added, "There's so many superstars that are well deserving of being in WrestleMania, and it's a tough card to get onto this year. Even the matches that I've been hearing about, I'm like, my gosh, this is going to be an insane WrestleMania." As of late, The Miz has been teaming with Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown, and while the A-lister has served as a mentor, it remains to be seen if this translates to a WrestleMania spot. Given his track record in WWE, fans can't count out The Miz finding his way onto the card, even if it's not in the main event spot he feels every WWE superstar should have in their sights. Do you think The Miz deserves a spot at WrestleMania 41? Should WWE book him in a major match, or is it time for newer talent to shine? Share your thoughts in the comments below. At Elimination Chamber, The Rock and John Cena assaulted Cody Rhodes, but while fans have seen plenty of Cena, the final boss has not been seen from or even mentioned. This has left fans confused as WWE is seemingly trying to sweep Brock's role in the turn under the rug, and on his podcast, Matt Hardy questioned WWE's methods. Hardy said he'd love to hear why Cena chose to align with The Rock rather than to go solo, saying, "It's the only question mark I have more than anything else." Matt said he likes how Cena is doing all he can do to get booed, which is no easy feat for the WWE icon, but at this time there's no word on when, if ever, WWE will address The Rock's role. With tonight's Raw in London reportedly being Cena's final live appearance ahead of WrestleMania, fans can only hope we get an explanation about The Rock in London's O2 Arena. At a recent WWE live event in Amsterdam, Rhea Ripley earned a hard-fought street fight win over Liv Morgan and celebrated in a literal cheeky way after the match. Perched in the corner, Ripley smacked her backside with a kendo stick, but Zoey Stark didn't appreciate this taunt, taking to Twitter to call it, "What's wrong with women in today's society?" Stark's post was flooded with comments, with many fans comparing her to right-to-censor-era Ivory, but Ripley had a reply of her own, telling Stark to "kiss my juicy Zoey." This isn't Ripley's first time drumming up drama at a live event, as she delivered a stink face a few years back that drew both delight and criticism from fans. Even Becky Lynch argued that it was disappointing that fans were clamoring over the spot instead of real wrestling, telling the 10 Count that "it just sucks that we're talking about it." At the time, Ripley defended herself and pointed out that there are male wrestlers who do the same and aren't criticized for hitting a stink face like she was. Ripley's unapologetic attitude is part of her appeal with fans, and while Stark wants no part of her kendo stick celebration, fans can expect Mommy to stay true to herself no matter what. Speaking of live events, CM Punk came up short against World Heavyweight Champion Gunther in Vienna, Austria, but Punk's post-match comments have had fans talking. Punk vowed that he'd see Gunther again down the road, which some have seen as a potential spoiler for the World Heavyweight title match at WrestleMania 41. Some believe that this was Punk accidentally revealing that Gunther will retain in Las Vegas and that Punk will be next in line for a title match and feud after Jey Uso. Of course, this is just speculation, and Punk vs. Gunther could happen without a title being involved, but whatever the case, expect a rematch between these two soon enough. Now, the last time fans saw the Wyatt Six, it was as part of the December 9th Raw, and while they were moved to SmackDown not long after, they're yet to appear for the Blue brand. Fans eagerly await the return of Uncle Howdy and his faction, and while the group has yet to resurface, they remain active on social media. On Twitter yesterday, Nikki Cross shared an image of the faction and said the group was ready for family Sunday dinner, and Eric Rowan was seen holding a help sign. Earlier this month, PWN reported that Bo Dallas has been cleared to wrestle after recovering from an injury, leaving many to hope that it won't be long before the group is on TV again. It was reported that the group had been pulled from TV because of Bo's injury, as WWE was of the belief that it was not worth having the group around without Uncle Howdy with them. After making a strong impression in their June 2024 debut, this hiatus has not done the faction any favors, and hopefully it won't be long now before fans see them again. What would you like to see from the Wyatt Six on SmackDown? Should they resume their feud with The Miz or find a new target? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. During SmackDown, Drew McIntyre was ambushed by Damian Priest, and while Drew didn't get real glass in his eye as first reported, the attack on the hood of a car did leave him banged up. In his first appearance since the attack, McIntyre was on WWE's official Twitter where he cut a promo on CM Punk, all while holding a WWE Legacy title designed around the Glasgow Rangers. In the video, McIntyre sports an eye patch selling the impact of the attack by Priest, as it's been reported that he did need to have something removed from his eye, but it wasn't glass. In the video, McIntyre grinned, saying he had one sexy title and one eye patch, and he's seeing the fun side of his injury, even if he's only seeing it with one eye. Despite this issue, there's no reports on McIntyre possibly missing WrestleMania 41, where fans can expect a war between the Scottish Warrior and Damian Priest. This match has been building for months, and it was Priest who ended McIntyre's brief world title reign last year, and expect Drew to have revenge in mind inside Allegiant Stadium. Over to TNA now, as a groundbreaking announcement was made at the last TV tapings, and if you don't want to be spoiled, we recommend skipping the next 40 seconds of this video. During the tapings at St. Joseph, Missouri, it was announced that a new title, the TNA International Championship, is coming, and the inaugural champion will be crowned at Unbreakable. That show will take place on April 17th during WrestleMania week inside the Cox Pavilion in Las Vegas, and a tournament of triple threat matches will determine the first ever champion. TNA is clearly looking to expand its global reach, and having the international title could bring in talented wrestlers from around the world hoping to win the gold. With their ongoing partnership, fans can't count out WWE talent also setting their sights on the TNA international title as the promotion continues to grow since last year's relaunch. Over to AEW, and Deonna Purrazzo has wrestled for the company just 3 times in 2025, with many left to wonder what's going on with the Virtuosa. During a Q&A episode of Fightful Select's podcast, Sean Ross Sapp was asked if Purrazzo's college studies have been keeping her away, but made clear this isn't the case. Purrazzo is studying as part of Southern New Hampshire University, and Sapp noted that a perk of SNHU is its flexibility to accommodate a working schedule. Explaining her absence, Sapp shared that Purrazzo has made pitches to creative, but as of now, there aren't any immediate creative plans for her or her Vendetta group with Taya Valkyrie. That also means there's no plans to add a third member to the Vendetta, despite this being a rumor, and he said that this was thrown out there to add intrigue. Purrazzo has hit a lull in AEW, and the same is the case in CMLL, as Sapp added that the promotion had Laddie Frost team with Taya Valkyrie instead of the Virtuosa. Sapp added that we haven't heard of plans within CMLL to use Deonna imminently, suggesting that it may be a while before fans see her in this promotion as well. Purrazzo is ready to work, but neither AEW or CMLL have anything lined up for her, and we'll have to wait and see what's to come for the former Knockouts champion in her wrestling career. During AEW Collision, the issues within FTR reached a boiling point as Dax Harwood snapped and shoved Cash Wheeler to the ground. When Dax regretted what happened, he put his hand out for his tag team partner, only for Wheeler to slap Harwood and get in his face before walking off. Harwood's frustrations are continuing to grow, and on Instagram, Dax shared an image from after the shove with the message, "Frustrated isn't the goddamn word for it." Fans will recognize that Bret Hart said the same in 1997 after shoving Vince McMahon, a mere mild-mannered commentator at the time, in a shocking moment from the Hitman. Hart's frustrations would result in him turning heel that same year, and his use of expletives such as bullshit show that the attitude of the promotion was changing to be an edgier show. Will Dax fully turn heel like Bret did, an act that would likely bring an end to FTR? Only time will tell, but the latest episode of Collision could prove to be a major turning point for the popular team. When the New Day turned on Big E last year, fans hoped this was the start of Big E's return to the ring to get payback, but unfortunately, we're not any closer to that return happening. Speaking to Dylan Bowker, Big E says that he feels great, but that his broken neck situation is the same as it's been for a while, as his body has not formed a new bone where it's broken. Big E is grateful to be living a happy, healthy life and acknowledged that he's 39 years old and came into wrestling with a myriad of injuries. Big E recognized that 50 is not far off for him now, and it appears that if living a happy, healthy life means never wrestling again, then that's the choice Big E will make. The former WWE champion said that the door is not closed, but ultimately his long-term health is the priority, meaning fans may have indeed seen the last of him in the ring. More from SmackDown as CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns made their WrestleMania triple threat official, and there was plenty of security to keep things from getting out of hand. As you might expect, these weren't actual security, but local wrestlers, and now we know more about who was donned the black polo shirts inside London's O2 Arena. Fightful Select reports that the guards flanking Roman Reigns included talent such as Ethan Allen, Damian Corvin, Shreddy, Elijah, Tate Mayfairs, Kid Lycos, and Joe Kessler. Daz Black, Miles Kamen, Kez Evans, Will Cruz, James Ellis, and Rampage Brown were also part of the team, and fans may recognize Brown from his time as part of WWE NXT UK. While the focus was on Reigns, Rollins, Punk, and Heyman, there were plenty of notable names for UK indie fans, making this segment a must-see inside the O2 Arena. On SmackDown, a smoky, cryptic series of videos has led to reports of Aleister Black returning to WWE, with the Dutchman expected to appear on the post-WrestleMania 41 episode. The question now is, what will Black do once he's back in WWE? And one possible idea could be for him to pursue LA Knight and the United States title. Given that Black never held singles gold in AEW, returning to win the US title would quickly re-establish Black and demonstrate that WWE is ready to push him from the get-go. Black isn't the only name coming to the blue brand, as it was on this week's SmackDown that it was confirmed that Rey Fenix will make his blue brand debut next week. If Fenix can establish himself on SmackDown like his brother Penta has done on Raw, then bringing Black in to attack and feud with the Masked Star could be a great reintroduction. Black's cryptic videos have also led to speculation that he could be feuding with Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six upon his return, in a collision of two of wrestling's more gothic stars. That would hinge on Howdy and his allies returning to TV first though, and what would you like to see from Aleister Black's return to WWE? Let us know below. WWE has no shortage of shows for fans to watch, with 2025 seeing the launch of WWE LFG as well as Evolve, but now more shows seem to be in the works. Recently, WWE filed trademarks with the USPTO for the terms "What do you want to talk about?", "What's your story with Steph McMahon?", "6 Feet Under with The Undertaker", and "Raw Recap". Some of these aren't new, as the Raw Recap already broadcasts after Raw each week, while "What Do You Want to Talk About" was hosted by Cody Rhodes as a YouTube series last year. As for 6 Feet Under, that's already a podcast hosted by The Undertaker, though WWE filing a trademark suggests the company will be working closer with the show moving forward. As for What's Your Story with Steph McMahon, that will seemingly be the name of Stephanie's upcoming podcast, which was first announced last month. WWE continues to grow its library of content, as from podcasts to interviews to recaps, there's plenty for fans to enjoy from outside the squared circle. Last year, Bill Goldberg shared that he'll wrestle for the final time in 2025, and while an opponent or date has yet to be named, the WCW icon is already training. On Instagram, Goldberg shared a photo with his son and others and said that he'd assembled his in-ring crew to help him train for his final wrestling match. One name Goldberg is training with is Marshall Von Erich, and Goldberg also tagged Kevin Von Erich, demonstrating that he's working with one of wrestling's greatest families. Goldberg shared on the Ariel Helwani show earlier this month that he's undergone stem cell therapy for a lingering shoulder issue, and at the time said he planned to be cleared very soon. Goldberg is doing all he can to make his final match a fitting end to his wrestling career, as the WWE Hall of Famer wants to end his career on an unquestionable high note. Are you excited at the prospect of one final match from Goldberg? Who should his final match be against? Let us know your thoughts down in our comments section. As previously reported, Saraya has finished her time with AEW, and while some fans may have mixed feelings about her run, she's more than happy with how things went down. On Busted Open Radio, the former AEW Women's World Champion discussed her All Elite run and was pleased to help talent grow in the company. She said, "I'm really happy I got the stories I got, because I got to hang with wonderful women, and I got to help Toni Storm in a way at the beginning. I got to hang with Ruby Soho. I got to be with Harley Cameron. She's such a big superstar." While some feel Saraya's run should have been different, perhaps with more titles or bigger storylines, Saraya explained that she was glad she could have fun in the promotion. "Even if not everyone was happy with the way storylines were or how I was portrayed, I had a great time. I had a great time behind the scenes. I was having fun." Though her AEW run is over, Saraya made clear she's not done in the ring, before reiterating that she enjoyed her run, but that it's okay for others to feel differently. She said, "This isn't the end of my wrestling career. Maybe I'll do something down the line that everyone will be proud of and love. If you didn't like what I was doing, that's perfectly fine. Everyone's allowed to have their opinion. Even I sometimes was like, I wish we could be doing XYZ, but I was having a great time behind the scenes." Some have already speculated about a return to WWE, though Saraya hasn't confirmed such a move, and whatever comes next, the British star is pleased with how her AEW run went. At SummerSlam 2023, Ronda Rousey finished her time with the WWE, and while she would go on to wrestle a handful of times after this, it's been over a year since her most recent match. While Rousey's wrestling days may be done, she's not through with throwing people around, and on Instagram, shared a clip of herself throwing Rayna Willink onto a crash mat. In the caption, Rousey shared that her ligaments are officially tightened back up in the latest update from the fighter, who has been vocal about dealing with lingering injuries. Last year, Rousey shut down rumors of an MMA return, saying that neurological issues mean she can't compete at the highest level anymore, and that these issues don't get better. Ronda won't step into the octagon, but she's proving she's still got plenty of fight left in her, meaning fans can't count on her return to the wrestling ring for the former women's champion. Throughout her career, Jordynne Grace has made a dramatic transformation to her body, as the NXT superstar is a mean, lean machine when it comes to fitness. Recently, Grace took to Instagram to share some pictures of her transformation, adding that change is the only constant, and her post was flooded with comments from fans. Also in the comments was Shotzi, who decided to shoot her shot, telling Grace that, "I had a crush on you back then, now I worship you." This flirty message by Shotzi didn't go unnoticed, as in a response, Grace shared "oh geez," which was all it took for fans to begin speculating about the two superstars. For the record, both Shotzi and Grace are married, and after tying the knot with her husband, Shotzi competed at a WWE live event in her wedding dress in late 2023. Nevertheless, it was a fun exchange between the two superstars, and we imagine Shotzi will be hoping for an opportunity to team with the Juggernaut in an NXT ring soon enough. On WWE LFG, Mickie James serves as the sole female legend on the show, and during the latest episode, she had some strong criticism for Bully Ray's mentee, Xena Sterling. Following Sterling's match with Tyra May Steele, Mickie questioned Xena's attire, arguing that it harkens back to a time women in wrestling have tried to move past. She said, "It's very frustrating when women go out there and wrestle and all I can see is ass, and I can't look past it. It's all I see. It's very distracting. So you want to be taken seriously as a wrestler, but you're wrestling in a pretty much jazzed up lingerie." Fans will have to see if Xena takes Mickie's comments on board, as the wrestling legend is ready for all women to move on from the sexualized divas era of the past. And we're ending today with Jade Cargill, who last week marked 1 year since she officially joined SmackDown, and taking to social media, the Storm opened up on how things have changed since her arrival. She said, "1 year ago today, I stepped onto the SmackDown stage as one of the top badass women in the game, representing authenticity within wrestling and elevating the tag team division, winning gold. Even though some of my relationships in this division have changed, what hasn't is me and the constant support I receive every day that motivates me to keep going. Love y'all forever." Cargill's post came with a video montage of her WWE highlights, and her comments about relationships changing may have been a nod to her reported heat with Shayna Baszler. It may have also been a reference to her current feud with Naomi, and whatever the case, Jade Cargill is planning on making more moments as part of a WWE roster.